These women are among nearly a dozen who say they've been stalked, in some cases for decades. They're real estate agents who say the suspect found their names and numbers on real estate signs. Lisa Guerrero reports, and we should warn you, these details can be creepy.
For years, these women say a serial stalker tormented them with perverted phone calls.
Over 60 calls a day.
60 calls a day?
Over 60.
Sometimes the threats got violent.
He told me he would kill me and my husband.
Wait a minute, he threatened to kill you?
He threatened to kill me.
Do you believe he's capable of physical violence?
I do.
I do.
So who is the man on the other end of the line?
So I'm going to play you a recording. Tell me if you recognize his voice.
Can you send me a picture of the high heels that you have?
Without hesitation, they knew.
Joseph Mathews.
They say Joseph Mathews often left creepy messages like this.
Did you wear stockings this week? I think you look very beautiful when you wear stockings.
According to police, he's been terrorizing women on Long Island for nearly 3 decades. In 1996, he admitted, "I have made many calls and I do it because it gives me pleasure." So why these women? What do they all have in common? They're all real estate agents. We spoke with nearly a dozen real estate agents on Long Island who say they believe Mathews targeted them after spotting their headshots on 4 sale signs, just like this. Those signs gave him all the information he needed, names and phone numbers.
It was awful. It was really, truly awful. It paralyzed me with fear.
At first, Kelly says Mathews called her about an open house, pretending to be a prospective buyer. But then she says he sent this picture of him wearing women's heels and stockings.
From that day on, phone calls started.
She says Mathews began calling 80 times a day.
There was nothing the police department could do. I didn't know who this person was. So everywhere I went, I was in fear. I was worried about my family. I had 2 young children at the time, and I couldn't be with them 24/7.
How scary is that to just know that there is a potential predator that could walk in the door at any minute?
Well, that's worried me for the last 25 years.
For Iris, the calls began decades ago.
When you do open houses, you don't do them alone anymore. And I was taking my son with me to meet clients because I was afraid of meeting anybody alone.
He was able to find your home number, your cell phone number, see your schedule, and even know if you had an open house.
Exactly.
So you were completely vulnerable.
Without a doubt.
Mathews has been caught doing this again and again, but each time he only spends a few months in jail.
The laws just don't really effectively address this.
Former FBI agent Stephen Troyd worked on the case.
I saw a line of cell phones, and they each have their back removed and their battery out, so the phones aren't communicating with cell towers or with the phone companies.
And that's not all.
I saw legal pads from top to bottom filled with numbers. There could easily be hundreds of victims.
Without serious intervention, he says he fears Mathews' behavior could escalate.
He's off the chain again. That's the problem. He's on the loose doing what he does, and women are paying the price for it. He needs to be stopped before he goes further. I mean, if it's psychological intervention, that's important.
We tried to speak with Mathews on his way into court.
Why have you been terrorizing women here?
He ran from me as fast as he could.
Sir, why are you terrorizing women in Long Island?
He has no control of his obsession. A man like him shouldn't be out.
Mathews, who's been convicted of stalking multiple times, faces more charges. He has pled not guilty.